There was something else that was rather quite disturbing about Epstein's life was his eugenics and seeding plans. The worst person to continue their offspring had a diabolical plan to want to be the Genghis Khan of pedophiles, and he suggested he wanted to seed the human race with his DNA. Well, I'd rather we weed the human race of his DNA. He planned to impregnate multiple women at Zorro Ranch as a part of a bizarre eugenics experiment. I just think he sounds like a big pervert and is doing a bunch of perverted stuff, sick and twisted. And I'm sure he had some sort of scientific, justifiable, psychotic reason for this. I don't really read further into what he wanted to do besides just being a sicko. You know, he frequently met with elite scientists from Harvard and MIT. What a lot of people are saying is maybe this was part of a larger transhumanist agenda, or it's just an excuse for something darker. So we're not really sure. Based upon, I do think it started with him just being a sicko, but sickos with money, power, and technology can do some crazy things. I'm not really sure what his diabolical plan was at Zorro Ranch besides impregnating a bunch of women. Here's the next part. New Mexico. Let's go back to this ranch. This picture is from Google, September 2024. So whoever moved in here, they have these signs up because there's people probably trying to visit this ranch or figure out about this ranch. Maybe this ranch has some, with 7,000 acres, there's definitely a possibility of some bodies being buried out here on this acreage. Maybe somebody didn't play well with Jeffrey's plans and became a liability and is out here laying in a shallow grave, a deep grave, something. Like I said, there's a lot of land here. I wonder if we could use some sort of LiDAR or some sort of sonar to go over this land and with a fine-tooth comb and see whose bodies are there, or if there are any bodies. I wonder if we could go over this land with a fine-tooth comb or some of the latest technology and find out if there are indeed some missing persons here. Because there's no way that over those years everybody decided to play ball, everybody decided to play well, and there wasn't an instance where something went wrong, got out of hand, created a great threat for Jeffrey Epstein, especially with him being able to keep things under wraps, and maybe was disposing of women, and maybe was disposing of them to the point where he had to start letting some. I don't know, but it's not that far-fetched, especially that you're in the middle of the desert in a town of 23 people and you're a pedo and you're doing weird, creepy pedo stuff with your pedo friends, and you got a private plane. This seems very premeditated. The Zorro's Ranch seems a pedophile's, resort. And it wasn't, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just trying to catch people. He was also a pedophile himself. So it wasn't like he was like, I'm just trying to, not that it would make it better, but he wasn't just trying to catch people in compromising situations. He himself was in compromising situations as well, which probably made the weirdos he attracted, probably made them more comfortable around him, right? And I'm pretty sure that he finessed some people to some bad situations as well, where, oh, you didn't know that won't. Hey, now, well, your secret's safe with me. I won't say anything, but I may need a favor sometime in the future. And who knows the reason the crazy thing about this is that nobody knows how Jeffrey Epstein came to be rich, how he got his money, what exactly he did, because he wasn't really that significant of a person, but he carried all this money and this power and this influence. And here's my take on it. In computers, in coding, and in tech, and in marketing, one thing that we know is of most value, that's worth the most, is information. Jeffrey Epstein, in his world, was probably no different. The information he had was extremely valuable and created extreme power, in addition to money, because money can be printed from power. Jeffrey was able to harness this power with the information, just like in tech. Sometimes they'll have you get an app and you'll download it on your phone and you'll be like, cool, I'm playing this game for free. But no, you're not. You're not playing this game for free. You're giving up valuable information on the app. You didn't even know what you accepted. The app said it could track you. The app knows when you go to the store, when you're at home, how much time you spend doing this, how much time you spend on the phone. Maybe it knows what videos you're watching. Maybe it can listen to your voice like Siri or Alexa. And before you know it, you've given up more than you ever would want to. And now maybe you just by yourself aren't that valuable, but when we put all those numbers together and everybody who decides to play that game or utilize that app, we now have algorithms and information. And I think Zorro's Ranch was about that as well. You see the massive servers there and the cameras in every room. He was gathering information. But who was he gathering information on, and why won't they release that information? Thank you for listening to part 1 of Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch Horrors. Part 2 will be out tomorrow, followed by possibly a part 3, depending on how we edit it. We also will do a recap covering key details and overlooked aspects of Epstein's secretive Zorro Ranch. Stay tuned.